Hi guys, Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher here. I am all dolled up. Haven't even brushed my hair today. I just got so excited about all the stuff I had to show you, and I'm probably gonna have to stop and go get more stuff because it's a real disorganized time to film, but I really wanted to get some information out there and start this video. I've had a great weekend. I had a friend come up from the Cape to visit. Diane came up and we had a great time. We did some finishes, we did some stitching, we did some shopping. It was a short visit, but we crammed a lot into it. And she gave me a stitch that she stitched for me that I'm going to finish probably in a pillow. I'm not really sure yet because I haven't played with all of my frames, but I wanted to show it to you guys. Isn't that cute? And she got these little bee buttons and stitched them to the front. I love this. Of course, when she gave it to me, she forgot to sign and date it, so I made her sit down and sign and date it. I'm getting to that age where everything needs to be written down or I forget. On that note, she brought some stuff up to finish, and we had to research what it was, where it came from, because we both couldn't remember, but we were staring at it going, yeah, I know what this pattern is. I know this designer. Yeah, it happens. So I have the stitch baskets that I wanted to show you guys today. A bunch of stuff that we bought over the weekend. Some ideas I have for some things that I bought, and a fully finish to show you. So excited. But here is a collection. Hopefully at the beginning of the video I kind of had a picture leading into this. But I've got 4 of these types of baskets to show you. And I know I've shown them in a previous video. I'm not going to remember all of the details. I don't think, yeah, I didn't write it on this one. This is a little O whale. And I don't recall where the basket came from. It might be something that was in my collection already from a store that was an unfinished wood shop. It doesn't have any kind of mechanism to lift it. So what I did was, after I mounted this on some foam board and glued it to the top, I braided some rope cording, fit it through a giant bead so I would have a way to open and close it. And I lined the base of it, there we go, with a little piece of felt, brown felt, just to keep it tidy on the inside. Now, this little collection right now sits on my deacon's bench in the breezeway or entrance to my house on the inside. But I do grab these occasionally if I'm going to go stitch somewhere. I'll throw my stuff in here and then off I go. I have a cute little way of keeping it all in one place. So that's O Whale. Now, O Whale was done, did I put a date on it? 2021. At least I put a date on that one. This one was my most recent one that I showed everybody. And that was from Stacy Nash Primitives. And that was a collection of, I think, 3 different designs on that little chart. And it was called Nantucket Sewing Set. So, another whale. And I did the same thing. I braided a cording. I'm trying to remember, was that foam board? Might have been. I think I told you there's an acid-free backing to it too. And then another mechanism. And this little basket, I do remember, was my dad's collection because he and I bought a whole bunch of these at the same time many, 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 many moons ago. But, oh, such a cute way to display a little stitch. Sometimes you can find these at thrift stores. It doesn't matter how marred or dinged up they are. You can always oil them. You can sand them down. You can paint them. You can stain them. Pick it up. Bring it home and play with it if the price is right. I wouldn't pay more than, say, $4 for something like that. Here's a bigger one. This one I got at a Goodwill. It did have a painted top on it, so I glued a hoop to the top because I really wanted to cover what the hand-painted design was. It was a bit dated. And when you open it, it is lined with a quilted, there's my lip balm. It's lined with a quilted insert, which was really great. Now this was dated or initialed by whoever painted the top of it, and I left it there. I didn't want to take that off because this has been sealed with a varnish. And I didn't put on the bottom of it where this stitch came from. Cape Cod girls got no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones. I didn't even put a date on it, so I don't recall when I finished this, but I probably have this in a previous video, and I could look it up. I made sure when I put the hoop on that I put the mechanism to tighten it in the front of the basket so I could have a place to lift the top. And there's a little piece of Velcro that was already there on the basket. This was in really good shape. I don't remember how much I paid for this basket, but it was a good deal. I've got a Gold Bond diabetic hand lotion in there, which I find is the best for cross stitchers. Oh, this is a brand new one. I won't open it. It's my favorite lip balm. That Gold Bond hand lotion really absorbs quickly into your hands, so you're not greasy and slippery, and you can stitch right away after you add it to your hands. I should pull that out. It's this one. I love this stuff. This size is hard to find. I have the bigger containers around the house. This is my biggest one. That's a Prairie Schooler. Again, I don't have the name. I know I have the chart somewhere. This is also in a hoop mount, and there's nothing under the hoop. And then I just took some upholstery cording and put it around, hot glued it, and then put a little bow at the top. And because this is so large, I didn't put a lifting tag on it. And this is not lined. It is full of all kinds of stuff. Weird things. Oh, nice pair of scissors. Unfinished projects. I should probably go through this. These are a lot of fun to do, though, so keep your eyes open for different ways of mounting your cross stitch. Another baskety thing that we found was at a Goodwill, and I had been to this Goodwill a few weeks prior to this weekend, and I saw this basket there, and I thought, that's just really cool. Didn't buy it. Went back yesterday, and it was half price. It's mounted on some sort of wall mount or wall bracket. I envision this to go on a wall and maybe hold my teas or a little potted plant. It's really cute. This lighter color band had a black band of thin balsa that had some sort of schoolhouse design throughout. Now, playing with it in the store, I realized it was separate from this piece. So I was able to break it off, pull it out, because I don't want it to have a school design. And now I have a brand new basket that I can... Actually, this needs to be oiled. I'm going to wait for a nice day outside, put it on some cardboard, and just spray it with lemon oil and let it drink, because it is very brittle. It needs to have some hydration. After the lemon oil treatment, I'll let it dry for a month or two. Then I will towel dry it and hang it up somewhere. But that's how I usually treat old baskets. It's even got little brass screws holding it. So it's just, I thought it was just really nicely made. And I wish I remembered how much it was. I think it was $3. Works for me. Also at the Goodwill, I found this little cutie. This little cube was $3. It was not $1.50. Yeah, it was a $3 cube. This is a little travel jewelry box. It has a button latch, which works fine. The top part has a little damage to it. I need to re-glue it. I'm going to probably remove this mirror, or I'll insert a little piece of felt or pillow topper to put needles in. This is a great space to keep general things, but then this opens up to have 3 other compartments underneath it. So this is really cute to put a little stitch on the top of it. I'm excited to play with this. I'm going to attack it with some Goo Gone, take the sticker off. It's got a little bit of sticker residue here, but this should clean up nicely with some Goo Gone. What a cute little find. Time to do some small stitches. I'll put that over there. I also found really great things. These were $2 each. They're just great notebooks. I like spiral bound things because I'm left-handed. They are tabbed on the inside. Lined paper, to-dos, notes, and almost like a graph paper. So this is a perfect little stitch diary for when I'm looking to make a new stitch diary. My other notebook that I keep will age out, and things like this I can just put in my office supply area. Same thing with the other notebook. These are probably from, I don't know, a Target or something. I think the original tag on them said they were from a $5 bin. So very excited to get these super clean. Oh, there's a tag. It says $5 underneath the $2. I don't know where it's from. Good stuff. This I'm excited about. I didn't find these. My friend Diane found these. So when you go in a Goodwill, I always have like a pattern of where I go. I do the edges. I check the seasonal stuff. I check the pottery. I check the mugs because I'm always looking for an LL Bean blueberry mug. I check the bags just because I have a thing for bags. She spied these. Handmade project bags. $3 each. See-through. Zipper is fine. We don't know why they went to Goodwill. Beautifully made. I can't believe it. What a find. $3. I'm very excited. She has one, I have one. There were 2 there. Now I get to peel the sticker and fill it. Maybe I'll have to kit something up. It's an excuse to kit something up. Actually, I have to go downstairs and do some stitching. I have some catch-up stitching to do. Really nicely made. I don't know. It's sad that it made it to Goodwill, but it is awesome that it made it into my hands and her hands. We will take care of it. Okay. I almost feel like drum roll, please. I have a fully finish. And this is because we found a $3 mirror at Goodwill. I'm so happy with how this came out. Hopefully you guys like it as much as I do. I had envisioned that this stitch go into something gothic or overdone frame. This was a 4x4 mirror. This black, the inner black, was all this gaudy gold or rubbed gold. I painted this band of black, painted the band inside, and then I mounted my tiny little, this is the Spooky Teapot by Tiny Modernist, stitched on a 28 count fiber on a whim malachite, one thread over one thread. So I think the actual stitch is a 3.5 by 3.5. I am so happy with how this came out. Not even 3.25 by 3.25. Teeny tiny. I don't recommend stitching it like that to anybody. It was scary to stitch that tiny. Probably most of you were like, I stitch on 56. I can't yet. I'm trying, but I'm not there yet. But I'm just so pleased with it. There is no glass protecting this. I didn't want glass. I think it probably pops out a little bit better without the glass. But it was just an easy mount. This had a fully covered brown backing to it. Just ripped it off. This is the tape that I've put over it, and then I put a little tag in it to say what it was. But it was an easy thing to take apart, and now I can hang it up anywhere I'd like. I think it has to go in a place where you can see it and not like lose sight of it on the dark wall somewhere. Originally, I put it up in the living room, and I think it was a dark corner, so it has to be somewhere else. Anyhow, I'm really excited. I need to get some more finishes done because that one was particularly exciting to actually get done and frame up. What else do I have? I think, oh, there's another pile over there. Hold on. So in our hunts, we went to a shop on 3 on your way to Belfast, and it's called Patchwork Plus. I hope I got that right. Patchwork Plus Crafts. It's a small barn-like building. It is 2 floors, and it just kind of goes on and on to the back. It is a collection of handmade items and some commercial items, mostly handmade. There are a whole bunch of quilts in there that are ridiculously priced. They're extremely affordable. Gorgeous, gorgeous quilts. But some of the quilters will sell their remnants there. So I picked up a few pieces. So this was $3.25. It's just a little chickadee swatch of fabric. I told myself I wasn't going to buy any fabric, and here I am buying fabric. Sorry. So I'm excited to play with that. And then, because I can sew a straight line, or so I think, I grabbed this thing for $3.50. It has a bunch of panels on it. I mean, it had me at Moose and Bears, but I thought maybe I can learn how to make a pot holder. If I can't make a pot holder, maybe I can make a little trivet, scented trivet thing. It'll happen. I have some confidence. So I thought that was a great buy. And for the back side of it, look at how much fabric's here. It's probably a couple pieces, different sections. I don't care. But it looked like a good backing for those panels. And this whole collection was only $4. And this would also be great for pillow backings for some of my fall stitches. It just looked like a great collection. Fall motif. That wasn't at the store. Somebody there has a collection of ornaments. This was $3.95. It was a little chickadee. It's a lot of work for $4. So they cut the shape, they sand it down, they painted it. I have a bird tree, so this will go in my bird collection. I'm excited to get that. And then for whatever reason, here's the name of the store. Patchwork Plus Crafts and Gifts. It is located at 156 Belfast Augusta Road West, Route 3. And it's in Searsmont, Maine, on your way to Belfast. Or on your way from Belfast, depending on which direction you're going. I got this little cutie. Let me cut the tag off. at that shop. It's a heavy piece of pottery. And I think I'll make a little bird bath with it. Not now, but next season. But it's a really nice piece of pottery. It's low, so I don't think anybody's going to drown in it if I have a little bit of water in it. It's not too heavy, so I can flip it over and refill it, make sure I don't have anything growing in there. Or I could just make it into a little seed feeder on a corner of the property away from the house. But isn't that cute? I guess it's commercial made. I can't really tell. But the price was good. So they had me at Birds. Not a single chip on it. Absolutely adorable. I think I need to put some felt on the bottom. What else was there? Oh, and then we went to Rennie's, which is a department store up in Belfast. And I got this really cute little wooden Santa ornament. I thought he was adorable. He's only $2.99. And I don't know if he was mismarked. They had some other wooden, this is like a rough wood ornament, rough cut. Pretty lightweight. I don't know what kind of wood it was. But they had some birds and some other ones there that were $7. And I was like, don't want to spend $7. It would have been nice to have a little collection with some birds and other things. But Santa will be my inspiration. I might hang him from my rearview mirror this season. We'll see. What else did I get? We went to the dump. Of course we went to the dump. Of course we went to the dump. We found the strangest things at the dump. So this was originally from Christmas Tree Shop. It's called 18 Newsletters. And there were, I think, 6 packages. So I ended up with 3 and Diane ended up with 3. This one is Santa. If anything, the envelopes are usable in here. We have checked. But they're Santa cards. And I guess what it is you can write a newsletter and tuck it into Santa and mail it. So they had me at free. I'm going to play with those. It might be cute to print out a cute little, this is what happened to us this year. Hope everything's going well with your family. Mail it that way. Maybe I won't feel like it and save it for some other thing. Just use the envelopes. But there was also ornament style. So I thought, well, that's interesting. And when we opened one up, you get a collection. Wow, it was a lot of glitter. Oh, I just got bombed, guys. It's two-sided. And there is like a slit on the side where I could slip in a cross stitch. And then you can mail it as a gift. So I thought, wow. So maybe I come up with a cute little sentiment, or just a Merry Christmas in blue, or thinking of you. I don't know. And then I can stick it in an envelope, and that's my Christmas card right there to somebody. So unfortunately, there's 16 in each package. I have 2 packages. This one's blue. I have a yellow one as well. But the possibilities, I think that's pretty cool for something to find at the dump. I have glitter all over me now. I'm so glad my coffee was over in the corner. These are the mugs that I'm always looking for. I have 3 mugs and 1 bowl. And this is a blueberry line of pottery that LL Bean put out once upon a time. And occasionally I come across them in the thrift stores and I pick them up. Still drinking coffee. All right, now I wanted to talk about floss storage. I'm sure I'm going to find something else. Hold on. I probably should have charged up my GoPro so I could take you for a walk through the first door of my attic. But if you can see behind me, this is where I keep most of my DMC floss because I don't like exposing it to light. If it gets exposed to light, it'll fade. And I have had problems if I've bought, say, a DMC collection or some DMC floss on sale or at a thrift store. It doesn't quite match up. And it's not just a different lot. It's been ruined somehow. But I do keep these buckets are actual totes with my extras in them. And then I house all of the whole collection of DMC on bobbins in these containers. So that's on a lower shelf area. And then you can see some DMC drawers that are actual DMC brand, different eras that I've gotten from different places like eBay or Facebook Marketplace or my husband or Santa. And I put extras in there as well. And then I make sure that I have an inventory sheet. And if I do take from my inventory to fill a bobbin, I write down how many I have left because I have multiples of multiples. But I am a bobbinator, except for when it comes to my specialty floss. Now, I keep my specialty floss in a much bigger tote, and it's just labeled Classic Colorworks or Weeks Dye Works. And then I have my sulkies in a different space. But I do keep it away from any kind of sunlight. Project bags are at the bottom of that shelf. I will get my GoPro out and give you a tour. I told you I'm going to take you in that closet because that attic space leads all the way along the wall here. It keeps going. And then there's a door in there that goes into another part of the attic that has a doorway that goes into another part of the attic. And it's all full. I really need to get back there and pull out all of my Halloween stuff. I have yet to decorate. Here's my confession. I need to get a tree up because I need to train that kitten not to climb trees because I don't know what we're going to do at Christmas time with a 6-month-old kitten. He'll be a few months older, but I don't know if it'll be much help. Anywho, everything's labeled as to what's in there by number. And I definitely like to bobbinate. When it comes to extra flosses from kits or different projects that I have that might have an off-brand, it's not DMC necessarily, then I like to keep them on clothes pegs, just in a basket, because there's no way of telling what it is. But I'll just wind it up. And then I have a quick grab when I need to stitch up something or I need an extra color. I know quickly what color I have and I can just grab it and use up something or create something if I want to just use an assortment of different colors. I love it. I like the clothes peg ideas because then I can just toss them in a basket, but I can also toss them in a project bag. Oh, and I also wanted to say, I wanted to shout out to Amy. I met her a couple weeks ago. I should put a picture here. We met up at the Crafty Grimalkin up in Bangor at that It's a local needle workshop. Amy is from Two Cross Stitchers. I watch her floss tube. She says they watch my floss tube. We bumped into each other at a stitch group there. It was really cool because she's not from Maine, but she was here visiting Maine, and she'd made a pilgrimage up there to stitch with us all. And it was like, oh, hey, hi, Amy. So that was really cool. It was kind of like a fangirl moment. I get to meet somebody that I watch all the time. Oh, and I need to go get something downstairs too. I told you guys there's a lot of stuff I have to show you. Hold on. So I got my tree, one of my trees out. Hopefully this will be the test tree to keep Stuart off of it. We'll see what happens. This goes downstairs next to my sideboard in the dining room. I'm not putting ornaments on it yet. I will put it where it needs to be, plug it in because it's got lights, and then we'll see what the reaction is. I went downstairs to get something, and I ended up finding something else that I didn't show. Also at the dump, I found more fabric. Oops. So, I don't know anybody with babies anymore, but it's just so cute. And I thought, take a small hoop and just one little bear in a hoop would make an awfully cute ornament, particularly for my spring tree, or even a get well little gift, a hug. That's just the cutest pattern. And of course, anything that I get, it's clean. It's very clean. It was almost as if it was just dropped off there. I'll wash it anyway. This is a great backing. It's not holly berries. It looks like holly leaves with white. Is that winterberry? I don't know. Big piece. Wonderful stuff to find. This was so, retro-like. I guess they're flower buds. But just a great background. I don't know if I could make an apron out of it. But wait, there's more. Great pillow backing. Great pillow backing. Great pillow backing. I have to stop because it's not like I have that much storage. Yeah. And of course I brought it home in this really cool Christmas tin. So, yeah, I could use the tin. I have to clean that up. Okay, so what I went downstairs for was something that is kind of stitch related, because this time of year it gets cold and all of a sudden my rings start spinning on my fingers. It drives me crazy and I almost feel like I'm going to lose a ring. So in the summer, I don't have that problem. My hands are hot. They're a little bit bigger. I'm probably a little more active. Your fingers swell when you walk. So I didn't know if you guys knew about these, but you can get these ring size adjusters. And all it is a little silicone coil that you put around your ring. And now I can wear my rings without having the rings roll around. It doesn't bother me so much while I'm stitching. I usually take my rings off when I'm stitching because of the rolling feature. But they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. And if you Google ring size adjuster for loose rings, you can get a collection of silicone coils that look like springs. Or you can get, for big bands, you can get different band sizes. These are a harder plastic. It is a type of silicone, I think. but it is a little harder. It's soft on your hand or on your finger, but they come in different widths depending on the different band that you have. I do like these, but they tend to stick out more. This goes underneath the ring. So these are just really great to have. I keep these in my jewelry box at all times. Ring size adjuster. That's one style. And then with this is an endless lifetime supply because you just cut off what piece you want. It's a bag within a bag. Reminds me of my grandmother. Everything had to be double bagged. So you just cut off what you need for your ring. And some of these are shorter than others because I've been cutting them off. And then you can adjust, you know, if you find it's a little sharp, you can just trim it with a little scissor or X-Acto knife. They're very easy to put on. And then very easy to take off. You can see what my favorites are in here. Some are shorter than others. And I think I've had this package for like 3 or 4 years. It's a lifesaver, keeps me sane. And I always keep it in the same place in my jewelry box. So anybody who even comes over, I'm like, I can fix that. No problem. I don't know if I showed you guys these either. Maybe I did. So I made some counting pins with the beads that I got from a previous video where I went to the Fairfield Antique Mall and I got a box of, a little plastic box of beads. But I made these little cuties. So they're heart-shaped beads at the top and just a collection. I guess this is a set and that's a set of glass and plastic beads. I gifted a set to my friend Diane. I just thought they were really cute. But I'm really enjoying playing with these beads. I sorted them all out so I can see better what I have. I can't stop making these things. It's just wonderful. My husband said I should probably start an Etsy shop for counting needles. I'd spend my life shipping tiny things and tiny packages for tiny amounts of money. I don't think so. Oh, speaking of my husband, he says that 90% of you have not subscribed. Is that true? I don't play with YouTube. I make a video, I put it up. But he says he's been looking at my stats or whatever, and 90% of you who watch me have not subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so then I know that that's not true. No, so yeah, I guess I would find out, wouldn't I? It doesn't matter to me, but I kind of want to prove him wrong. But maybe I'd be proving him right if you do subscribe. Anywho, everybody knows who watches me knows that I put one out every Monday. And I even do that when I'm going someplace. But it would be nice to know what my actual numbers of viewers are. Maybe I can use this to my advantage. If it is true, I can probably bribe him for something. I don't know what. I've always wanted him to edit my videos, but he won't do that. I have to do it myself. That being said, I should probably cut this short because I don't know how much editing I have to do. Oh no, I have to show you Diane's stuff. She brought some cross stitch up that she was working on. I got to see her lilies of the valley. It was really pretty. That's not DMC floss in that Realist kit. It's a type of wool yarn or wool thread. It's the same stuff that I stitched the foxes with. And I don't know if you guys remember that. Maybe I should have a picture of the foxes. And then I'd have to find out if the back's labeled. If I found information on the stitch, there'll be a picture here. If not, some other video. But it's almost like a yarn, very thin yarn. So it gives it a really beautiful texture. So I can't wait to see what this looks like when it's done. And now that she's come up for a visit and we got some things kitted up while she, or not kitted up, but fully finished while she was here, she's bound to come up and I'm bound to see it again, maybe even help her frame that piece because it's going to be stunning, absolutely stunning. On that note, she brought up her lavender. Remember, I showed in one of my videos all of my camp stitches. Up there, I have a basket of lavender, and it's done on like a honeycomb fabric. This must have been a very old DMC kit because she had the same thing. She stitched it up, and here is her finish, fully finished. We put it in a sweet little frame. I don't know where the frame came from. It was in my box of frames. And then to accent the frame, we have these tiny little bees that I can't remember where I got those either, but they were another find, probably from a dump house or a yard sale pick. But we glued those little bees on the bottom of the frame just because it was a cute little peekaboo when it's up on a wall and you're walking past and you see that little embellishment. We decided to frame it large enough so you can really see the fabric, because I think the fabric is incredible. Now, my idea was you see the lavender, and once you see the lavender, that's your focal point, but then your eye travels to the fabric. And when you have a specialty fabric, I think it's important that you leave quite a bit of the fabric on the viewing area so people can actually appreciate the fabric, because it is a stunning, stunning design. Thought I should have a couple of photos. And then when we were at Goodwill, she had a tiny little stitch. Now this was, I had to write it on the back and I didn't take a picture. Itty Bitty Kitty, that must be it, by Sweetheart Tree. And I think this was Pot of Gold. Something to do with St. Patrick's Day. But we found this tiny little box type. It had a saying about sisters on one side, the flat side. She painted that black. She flipped it over so we could put the cross stitch inside the box. Now, when we first put the stitch inside, it was too deep. So it was just a dark hole. So what we did was we built up with some cardboard to pull it a little bit more to the front. So it almost looks like it's framed now. And then she glued some little gold cording and some gold beads in the corner because I thought that was a cute idea. It's just a sweet little stitch. So now she can put it anywhere, on a shelf, on a table. She can even put something on top of it. It's just really cute. And it's a small little stitch. I want to say it was probably, was it a 3x3 even? Maybe not even. It's tiny. And she did it on a, not the fabric that it came with. And I can't remember what count it was, but it's awfully cute. Those are her finishes. And I think that was it. Oh, maybe I'll show some of those. Oh, here's the way I displayed the counting needles. So I'll have a picture of those here. When I gifted her the counting needles, I used my die cutter to run two shapes of two different sized hearts through the die machine of different felts. One felt had a stamped heart shape on it, and then the white was just a background. And they're not glued together. So now she can pull those counting needles out. She can use those hearts for a back of a pillow if she'd like to, and display those counting needles some other way. But that was fun to do. I'd like to do that again. Okay, that's all. I gotta go stitch. I have to put this up for editing. I gotta go. I had to run up here. I'm like, my husband's like, you gonna brush your hair? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go upstairs. This is me. So I'm going to go put my feet up, have a cup of tea, do some stitching. I hope you guys, oh, and put the tree up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and get some stitching in or something fun and colorful, even if it's just enjoying the colors of the fall. If that's happening where you are, it sure is here. I'm actually going to meet up with some friends who have reached out to me who are coming up to Maine from Arizona. So that'll be fun. And I don't know, happy stitching. Be safe.